Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Mowat and I am the new head teacher here at Clyde Primary. I know I've met many of you, but I've still to meet some of you. So for World Book Day, the book I have chosen to read is called And Tango Makes 3, and it's by Justin Richardson and Peter Parnell, and it's illustrated by Henry Cole. And it's set in New York Zoo in America, and it's actually based on a true story. In the middle of New York City, there is a great big park called Central Park. Children love to play there. It is a toy boat pond where they can sail their boats. It is a carousel ride to ride in the summer and an ice rink to skate in the winter. Best of all, it has its very own zoo. Every day, families of all kinds go to visit the animals that live there. But the children and their parents aren't the only families at the zoo. The animals make families of their own. There are red panda bear families with mothers and fathers, and furry red panda bear cubs. There are monkey dads and monkey mums raising noisy monkey babies. There are toad families, and there are toucan families, and cotton-top tamarin families too. And in the penguin house, there are penguin families. Every year, at the very same time, the girl penguins start noticing the boy penguins, and the boy penguins start noticing the girls. When the right girl and the right boy find each other, they become a couple. Two penguins in the penguin house were a little bit different. One was named Roy, and the other was named Silo. Roy and Silo were both boys, but they did everything together. They bowed to each other, they sang to each other, and they walked together, and they swam together, and wherever they went, Silo went too. They didn't spend much time with the girl penguins, and the girl penguins didn't spend much time with them. Instead, Roy and Silo wound their necks around each other. Their keeper, Mr. Gramsay, noticed the two penguins and thought to himself, they must be in love. Roy and Silo watched how the other penguins made a home, so they built the nest of stones for themselves. Every night, Roy and Silo slept there, just like the other penguin couples. And every morning, Roy and Silo woke up together. But one day, Roy and Silo saw that the other couples could do something they could not. The mama penguin would lay an egg. She and the papa penguin would take turns keeping the egg warm until finally it would hatch, and they would be a baby penguin. And we can see all the baby penguins there. Roy and Silo had no egg to sit on and keep warm. They had no baby chick to feed and cuddle and love. Their nest was nice, but it was a little empty. One day, Roy found something that looked like what the other penguins were hatching, and they brought it to their nest. It was only a rock, but Silo carefully sat on it, and sat, and sat. When Silo got sleepy, he slept, and when Silo was done sleeping and sitting, he swam and Roy sat. Day after day, Silo and Roy sat on the rock, but nothing happened. Then Mr. Gramsay got an idea. He found an egg that needed to be cared for, and he brought it to Roy and Silo's nest. Roy and Silo knew just what to do. They moved the egg to the centre of their nest. Every day they turned it, so each side stayed warm. Some days, Roy sat while Silo went for food. Other days, it was Silo's turn to take care of their egg. They sat in the morning, they sat at night. They sat through lunchtime and swim time and supper. They sat at the beginning of the month and they sat at the end of the month. They sat all of the days in between. Until one day they heard a sound coming from their egg. Peep, 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 it said. Roy and Silo called back. Squawk, squawk, peep, peep, answered the egg. Suddenly, a tiny hole appeared in the egg shell, and then look at how the egg changes throughout the cracking process. Crack! Out came their very own baby. She had fuzzy white feathers and a funny black beak. Now Roy and CeeLo were fathers. We'll call her Tango, Mr. Gramsci decided, because it takes two to make a tango. Roy and CeeLo taught Tango how to sing for them when she was hungry. They fed her food from their beaks. They snuggled in her nest at night. Tango was the very first penguin in the zoo to have two daddies. Soon Tango grew strong enough to leave the nest, and Roy and CeeLo took her for a swim, just like the other penguin families. All the children who came to the zoo could see Tango and her two fathers playing in the penguin house with the other penguins. Hooray, Roy! Hooray, CeeLo! Welcome, Tango! They cheered. At night, the three penguins returned to their nest. They snuggled together, and like the other penguins in the penguin house, and all the other animals in the zoo, and all the families in the big city, they all went to sleep. And it says at the end, all of the events in this story are true. Roy and CeeLo are called chin-strap penguins because of their delicate line of black feathers that loops under their beaks. So that line there, the black line under there. And as if to hold the hat in place. After years of living side by side in Central Park Zoo, they discovered each other in 1998, and they had been a couple ever since. Tango, their only chick, was born from an egg laid by another penguin couple named Betty and Porky. That couple had often hatched their own eggs, but they'd never been able to care for more than one at a time. In the year 2000, when Betty laid 2 eggs, Rob Gramsci decided to give Roy and CeeLo and one of those eggs a chance to become a family. If you go to Central Park Zoo, you can see Tango and her parents splashing about with their other friends, including Nipper, Squawk, Charlie, Wasabi, Pee-wee. There are 42 chin-strap penguins at Central Park Zoo and over 10 million chin-strap penguins in the world, but there is only one Tango. I hope you enjoyed that story about the penguins, and I've enjoyed sharing it with you.